There's a fight going on right now over what you believe. I want you to see that believing is the pivotal point of what defines you as a believer, as a person of faith. And so if there's anything that the enemy wants to attack, he wants to attack what you believe.
I believe in me. If you stop believing in me, I'm not gonna believe in myself any less. The day that you start living your life according to everybody else's opinion is the beginning of the end.
You have got to stand up to that voice. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on the goal that you want to reach. Whatever we have right now, whatever we're demonstrating in our lives, is a result of what we believe subconsciously that we deserve.
Most of you guys don't actually know your self-worth. You're like a vulnerable little child. Everybody loves me this week, so I love me this week. I can tell y'all right now that it is not the car that I drive or the size of my house that defines my self-worth.
You can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you.
I'm hot. I'm hot when you don't think I'm hot. I love me even if you stop loving me. That's the way I live my life. Most of y'all are on Twitter. You're desperate for likes. Some of y'all are social media. Feed my ego. Feed. Like me. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. Independent of the validation of the world.
Telling yourself every day, here I go again, and I got what it takes.
You can never lose faith. When you don't see no way how, you have to buckle down and keep believing.
Decide that you're going to push yourself. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. To hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure. This is the winner's quality. You have that quality within you.
You want to be as smart as you can be. Learn all you can, read all you can. That's very important. But believing is our only gateway to God. It's not making pies. Believing is our only gateway to God. The enemy comes against what you believe and what you know about God. Most of the things you're worried about that the enemy is playing with, he doesn't need. Satan doesn't need your house. Satan doesn't need your car. The devil took my car. What are you going to do with it? He doesn't need your car. He needs you worried. He needs you upset. The enemy is after your mind. Because it is with the mind that we serve the Lord, then your mind has to be healthy. The original sin is really unbelief. So the enemy doesn't try to physically move them out of the garden. He tries to move them away from what they believe. Oh, you should eat of it because if you eat, you're going to be just like God. You will know as God knows. Like God is trying to stop you from doing something because God is intimidated by you. What utter stupidity. And yet he is attacking not their bodies. He is attacking their belief system. Now he might attack your body, but he's only attacking your body to break down your belief system. God has fixed it that we all must become like children and have childlike faith and dare to believe him.
Have faith like a child. Adults are too skeptical. The master teacher said, unless you can become like little children, you might as well forget it. You don't have a prayer. You got to be like children.
And while knowing is important, you don't want to lean to your own understanding because what you know is always evolving. Ideas are always changing. Your belief system has to be built on something that's solid and something that's true. Your belief system has to be built on God, not church, not preachers. Your faith has to be built on something that's solid as a rock. This is not about emotions. How many of you have had somebody promise you, I ain't gonna never do it no more. I promise you I'm never gonna do it no more. They went right back and did it again. They might have even felt those emotions, but they didn't change their... So somebody shout, I am a believer. And stop trying to keep up with the culture. The culture will send you to hell. I'm not trying to be relevant to the culture. I'm trying to be relevant to the kingdom. Because the culture can do anything. The culture can change its mind about everything. Stop it, stop it. Stop trying to always impress the culture. It is not your job to try to imitate the world. It is their job to be influenced by you. Come on, somebody. God wants you to believe him. To believe him is to embrace God's integrity, not my integrity.
There's a lot of compromise in our society. People that think nothing about being dishonest, not keeping their word, they wonder why they can't get ahead. It's because they don't have integrity. You can have talent, determination, but without integrity, you won't reach your highest potential. When you have integrity, you don't take supplies from the office to bring home to use. You don't spend half the day making personal phone calls at the office. If you'll do the right thing, God will make it up to you. Many things we face are simply tests. God is seeing, are we ready to go higher? Do you call in sick to work so you can take the day off and go shopping? Don't be surprised if you can't find anything at the store, traffic's backed up. Maybe it's because there's no blessing on it. Don't complain when your child doesn't tell the truth. We're leading by example. If they see us compromising, they're going to do the same thing. Be honest. Be a person of your word. Your reputation is one of the most valuable things you have. You can have great wealth and be looked down on. But when you're a person of integrity, when people look at you and think, I can trust them. They're honest. They don't talk to me one way and then talk to my friends behind my back another way. They're consistent. When you stay on the high road, that will take you much further than being dishonest, trying to gain an unfair advantage. You may gain with people, but what if you lose with God? He's the one that can open the windows of heaven and pour out blessings that you can't contain. It's better to be truthful and have less, then God's favor will take you further. Instead of trying to cross the line, why don't you try a different approach and see how far behind the line you can stay? The more integrity you have, the more God can bless you. When you have integrity, you're the same in private as you are in public. Don't be kinder to strangers than you are to your own spouse. Be consistent. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be real. When you have integrity, you're not making underhanded deals, hoping that nobody sees you. I've heard it said, don't do anything you wouldn't want to read about the next day in the newspaper. I doubt many of you have big areas where you're lacking integrity, but maybe there's some small things. It just takes a little effort, getting out of ruts where we've gotten comfortable doing things that are less than our best. We can fool a lot of people in public, but what God is concerned with is what goes on behind closed doors. How you live in private will determine how high you go in public. God is watching to see when He can promote you, when you pass these tests so He can take you to new levels. When you prove to Him that you're a person of integrity, there is no limit to how high He will take you. There's a price to pay to become all you were created to be. This takes people that have a made-up mind. I'm going to honor God. Not going to push people down to get an advantage. I'm going to be a person of integrity, honorable. That's the kind of people God rewards.